What if the next 90 days became the turning point of your entire business? Let that question sink in, because the truth is, most business owners never stop long enough to become strategic. A recent study by the Small Business Administration found that nearly 50% of small business owners lack a clear growth plan. Without strategy, we default to reaction. And that's where momentum gets lost. We hustle, we grind, we react, but we rarely build with the intentionality that creates lasting momentum. And that is the difference between spinning your wheels and actually moving the needle. As the founder of Simplicity Marketing, I've spent over a decade building digital ecosystems that help businesses grow. And one of the greatest transformations I've seen for myself and my clients comes when we stop living by the calendar and start living by the quarter. And this is where the 90-day rule comes into play. When you adopt a 90-day rhythm in your business, you create short-term focus with long-term impact. And today I'm going to walk you through how to implement this simple but powerful system that fuels consistent growth, prevents burnout, and aligns your work with your God-given mission. So let's start with the obvious question. Why 90 days? Well, 90 days is important because there's power in short-term focus while still creating long-term impact. You know, we've all been there, overwhelmed by annual goals and yet paralyzed by endless to-do lists, distracted by every urgent fire that seems to pop up. But 90 days is different. It's a window of time that creates both a sense of urgency and yet also opportunity. It's long enough to complete real, meaningful projects like launching a new offer or revamping your marketing system, but it's also short enough to maintain your focus, accountability, and traction. I want you to think of it as a sprint with strategy where each lap builds towards your greater vision. Scripture reminds us, write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it. Habakkuk 2:2. A 90-day plan allows you to run with clarity because the vision is specific, it's measurable, and it's timely. At Simplicity Marketing, we use this approach to manage marketing campaigns, create content calendars, and refine sales funnels. We also use this in our larger goals as a company. We call these 90-day rocks. For example, in Q1 of the year, we helped a local insurance agent implement a 90-day video marketing campaign that increased their organic reach over the previous quarter. By focusing on just this one content initiative, consistent short-form videos, we were able to create momentum without overwhelming their team. It's this kind of focused execution that delivers exponential results. So instead of trying to do everything all at once, we focus on a few high-impact objectives every quarter, and the results end up speaking for themselves. So I want to give you a framework today that you can work off of to break down the 90-day rule for business growth. Because if you're going to embrace this system, you need more than just motivation. You actually need a roadmap. And here's how to structure your 90-day business growth plan in a way that creates forward momentum and growth you can sustain. The first thing is vision casting, and you want to do this in your first 7 days. First and foremost, start with prayer. Seek the Lord. Prayerfully ask, what do you want to accomplish in this business over the next 90 days? What breakthrough or opportunity should I be pursuing? And from that place of clarity, Then you want to define one primary focus. We'll call this your North Star. And once you have this North Star for the quarter, whether that's increasing lead generation, building an email list, launching a course, streamlining your operations, the key is choose that one core outcome that aligns with your long-term mission. From there, you want to map out your strategy. That's days 8 through 14. You're going to reverse engineer that goal, that North Star. What are the specific projects or marketing campaigns that will move you towards your focus? Break your goal into milestones and tasks, and then tie every initiative into a measurable result. Could be website traffic, email signups, new clients, revenue targets, and then assign ownership if you have a team. And if it's just you, block time in your calendar to work on your highest leverage activities. And then from there, move into your execution cycle. These are days 15 through 75. And this is where discipline and momentum meet. So during the core 60 days, you are executing, you are tracking, and you are adjusting as needed. And it's critical that you schedule a weekly CEO time to review your progress. During this time, I would recommend using a simple structure. Review your key metrics, leads, sales, conversions. Reflect on what's working and what's not. Reprioritize your tasks for the upcoming week, and then reconnect with your vision and why it matters. And this is important. Treat this like a sacred appointment, because clarity compounds when you make space for it. What's moving the needle? What needs to be eliminated or adjusted? And stay flexible, but don't change your primary target unless it's absolutely necessary, because success will come from consistent execution, not constant pivoting. And then finally, review and reset. This is days 76 through 90. Once your sprint concludes, celebrate what worked and reflect on what didn't work. Assess your metrics, document your lessons. Most importantly, reconnect with God. What did He teach you in the last 90 days? Where do you need to grow in trust, stewardship, or leadership? Use this space to rest, renew, and prep for your next 90-day block. Now, here's a few of the tools that I use at Simplicity Marketing, because structure creates freedom. And one of the keys to implementing the 90-day rule is having the right tools and systems to support your business growth plan. Here's some of the things we use. For project management, we use ClickUp. ClickUp allows us to map quarterly goals into actionable projects, and every card or task aligns with our core outcome. For marketing automation, we use Go High Level. We build email sequences, retargeting ads, and short-form videos that run through this platform on autopilot, but only after we set our quarterly strategy. We have weekly scorecards where we track key performance indicators like leads, conversions, ad performance, because what gets measured gets improved. And we use a system called EOS, comes from a book called Traction by Gino Wickman, to really measure as an organization how we're performing in our KPIs. And then we have calendar discipline. My calendar is color-coded by category: ministry, marketing, meetings, margin, and I use time blocking to manage my time effectively and to make sure that I am effective running in bursts in those blocks. Now, let me tell you, those tools aren't magic, they're multipliers. And they help you do what matters most without getting lost in the things that matter the least. You also need to lead with purpose. So make sure you are aligning your 90-day plan with your calling. One of the greatest dangers for you as a faith-driven entrepreneur is chasing productivity at the expense of purpose. That's why your 90-day plans must be rooted in your divine assignment. You're not just building a business, you're stewarding a platform, a community, and an opportunity to reflect Christ in the marketplace. That changes how you set your goals, how you treat people, and how you handle success. In my book, Lessons from the Storm, I shared how unexpected disruption can clarify your purpose. When the tornado hit Hoisington in 2001, it wasn't just a wake-up call, it was a divine realignment. And every storm in life is a reminder that God is the one building the house. Psalm 127:1 testifies to that. So let every 90-day plan begin with Him and let your goals serve others. Let your systems create space for grace. And then avoid pitfalls in your business growth plan, because even the best business growth strategies can fall apart if you don't guard against common traps. Overplanning is one of those, and overplanning without action is a killer. Perfectionism will kill momentum. Busyness being disguised as productivity. Don't fill your calendar, fill your purpose. Saying yes to too much. Protect the yes you've already given, but don't be afraid to say no. And then ignoring your own rhythms. Be sure and build margin. There's a reason God created rest. And as you build your next quarter, ask, am I doing this for applause or am I doing this for alignment? Am I working from rest or for rest? I want to give you some encouragement and also a challenge. When I first started using 90-day planning, it was out of necessity. I was juggling a ministry, a business, and family, and everything felt like I was just reacting to the tyranny of the urgent. But this simple framework gave me the space to lead instead of chase. And every 90 days became a rhythm of renewal. A chance for me to realign, a place to hear from God again. You don't have to build everything in one day, but you do need to start, and this is a system that can help you do that again with clarity and consistency. Proverbs 16:3 reminds us, commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans. I want to encourage you. Take time to build with intention. Grow with consistency and steward this season well. Let your next 90 days be your most impactful yet. If you need help, if you're ready for a breakthrough, come to the website, carlwillis.com/coaching. There's a link there where you can schedule a 30-minute call with me just to help you get some clarity. Schedule a strategy session. I'll be happy to do that with you. It's complimentary. If you want to move on to a coaching program with me, I do offer that. If not, the time is just to help you reset your vision and maybe get a little guidance. Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to talking with you in the next episode.